We're just going right into this. Welcome to the Ponytail Show. Bex Ruffin, aka Ryan Africa. Am I allowed to say your real name?
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah, Ryan
I
Africa.
remember when I hit you up the first time I called you by Vex.
Yeah.
I didn't know. That's your artist name.
Yeah, in email, people call me Vex, so it's either Vex or they call me by my last name, Africa. So.
Does it feel weird sometimes? Does it feel weird when people call you your artist name?
No, I'm so used to it. All my emails, it's always Vex. So.
Yeah, people call me Pony all the time. Pony's my name. Yeah, that's just what happens.
I know, right? Yeah, I just roll with it. Yeah,
totally. Cool. Well, I was so stoked that we became Insta friends, and then I came across your album, your new album that dropped this year, Light Ace Frequency. A few different things in the universe made me come across it. First of all, you were wearing a Battenware t-shirt in one of your videos. Which clip was that? I'm Still At It? Oh no.
It was the What Matters the Most.
What Matters the Most. Yeah. So first of all, Battenware, they're the homies, Shinya and Kerry. I don't know if you know them, but they're the best.
Yeah, I never met them, but shout out to Battenware. It's I love that. One of my favorites.
Oh, awesome, man. LA brands, doing good people doing beautiful things. That's what it's about. Right. Yeah.
I love their shirts. So
yeah, really awesome gear. Just good gear for life. That's all.
No, for real, yeah.
And then a couple weeks later, I was so I saw your clip on the Battenware Instagram. Then a couple of weeks later, I was listening to NTS. I think it was the Who Dis show, and then I heard another track on one of their shows, and I was like,
right, shout out to Who Dis. Those are the homies, from Stone Throw.
Yeah. So for people who are listening, Who Dis are they're the people who work for Stone's Throw. They do a show on NTS once a month, right?
All the people that work for Stone's Throw, Tim, David, Coda, all those guys, they all work for Stone's Throw, and they have their NTS show.
Sick. It's a good show. And shout out to NTS, what a community NTS
I know, right?
is, man. Bringing the best people in the world all together. I listen to their shows all the time. So many friends. I listened to your show, man.
Oh, you did? Nice. Yeah. Manila times.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that for sure. But first, I need to shut up for a sec, and I need to ask you to explain to us, what's your deal? How did you start making music? Where did you come from? And where are you now? Right.
Well, I first started making music around early 2000s, 2003 or 2004. So I started really late. I'm not a trained musician or anything. I didn't play guitar at an early age or anything, or piano. But I always loved music. I was always a big fan of music, especially hip hop. So, in my early 20s, I decided to buy a sampler. What was it called? The Boss 303 sampler. It's a cheap sampler, $300. And I bought it because,
they don't make them anymore, right?
Yeah, they don't make yeah. They make other versions of them, but the 303, I guess it's discontinued. But I just wanted to be like Madlib. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Yeah. I was just a big fan of him and MF Doom and all them. So nice. I first started making beats, and then just strictly hip hop, even rapping sometimes. But
what would you sample from in the early days? What were you sampling off?
Yeah, well, back then there wasn't the internet, there wasn't YouTube or anything, so I had to go out dig for records. So go to thrift stores or record stores, and just sample off of records. Yeah.
Are you telling me now you rip off YouTube?
Yes, all my stuff.
Sick. Sick.
And it's like
No shame.
it helps so. I have no shame. It just because I have a family now and kids, so it's just so convenient now. Like it just like, and I'm the kind of artist that works really fast. So like, it just helps me, get things done. So,
how good's the internet for just like endless inspiration, man? And like,
oh yeah, true.
It's almost like overwhelming. It's too much sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like, yeah, we're so spoiled now, right? It's like
it's like sometimes like I feel like when you look at inspiration on the internet, there's just like too many parameters to look at, and there's like you don't know where to start. It's like
right.
When you're like digging for records, or like for me, it's like digging for vintage clothes. Like
exactly.
You have the parameters, like you have the walls of that thrift store or like of that flea market, like the boxes in that flea market. So you only can get a certain amount of outcomes. Whereas like if you look on the internet for something, it's like, damn, what do I even search for? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I know. Everything is just all my music like lately has been just sampling off YouTube. But yes, I still sample off records too, and nice. Tapes, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, totally.
So early work sampling off records and stuff, making beats. You know what, man? Like I know a bunch of beat makers. None of them had like formal music training, and they all say the same thing. They're like, I'm not a musician. I'm like, whatever. You make music, you compose music with your fingers and your ears and your brain. Like, how is that not being a musician, not being a composer? It's like, dude, to me, you guys are all musicians, like, and composers, and like, there's no difference really. You're just like, I'm sure, like, can you imagine, like, back in, like, the Baroque period, like, people just picking up instruments and just being like, man, I'm not a musician. Just, like, not knowing what they're doing. Like, nobody knows what they're doing, man. That's what's great. That's what I love about your music is, like, it's so honest. Like, okay, I'm just going to tell you what I think about your new album. Light Ace Frequency. Like, I think it's so honest, and I think it's like so sweet and such a nice blend of like basically all my favorite records, like old records, just blended into something new but so fresh and just like brutally honest just about where you are in life, which is just so nice. And dude, it dropped in like it dropped in a really difficult time, like mid last year. But that's what I needed. Like that's what I'm sure a lot of people needed, to just be like, yeah, this stuff, like shit in life happens, and it's about that choice, that attitude you choose to have about life, and like, how to deal with stuff. Yeah. So thanks, man. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm really glad that, it helped you. I mean, that's what I really want to do is help people, like even if it's just through my music, but in my own way. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's very important to be like honest with your art, like especially, my music, like if you hear my past albums, they're different, like some songs are like, sad songs, and I just think it's important to be truthful. And I feel like because when you're not here anymore, it's all about your legacy and who you are as a person, and you should be honest. So.
Yeah, man. It's all about like what you make. Like yeah, you're asking some real heavy, deep questions about like what it is to live, what is the meaning of
Yeah.
life, what the
Right.
hell are we doing in this universe? Universe is so big,
Right.
we're so small. What are we doing? Why do we
Yeah.
make stuff? It's
Right.
because people, right? It's because like, yeah, you touched my heart and you made a bunch of people, feel better about themselves. You made people happy and like feel sad and feel a bunch of stuff just through your music, which is amazing. Yeah,
Wow. Well,
dude.
thank you for sharing that. And man, that just makes me want to make more music. Just
Sick.
push me
Do
even
it.
more, like inspire me to do more.
Yeah.
So
Hell
I
yeah.
guess this is why we do our art, right? Like
Hell yeah.
stuff
That's
inspire
why.
people. Stuff.
So let's
So
go back. Let's go back to you making early beats, and
yeah.
like, so when was that? Like, where were you? Because I know you're Filipino, but you live in
Yeah.
America.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So like, where were you
Yeah.
living back then?
Yeah. So I was born in Los Angeles, and then we moved to Northridge. That's the San Fernando Valley area. And then after that, my dad decided to do a business in the Philippines. So we moved to the Philippines, Manila, in, what was it, 1993. So I lived there for 5 years. And then my dad's business didn't do too good. So we moved back here by my grandparents' house here in Chino Hills area.
Also,
And
the Philippines had a huge financial crisis in the mid
in the
90s.
90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of poverty and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're right on that. Yeah. So we moved back here, and then I've just been here ever since.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, like Ace Frequency, like everything that you said about it is like, you're right on point. With all the positivity and like where I'm at in my, my mind state, my life. But in the same time, I was channeling, living in the Philippines, like moving to the Philippines, like I was trying to channel that and put it into the album as well. So
Don't you think like there's some like things that we experience in childhood that like we keep having to work through over and over and over again throughout our life? Like
right.
it feels a little bit like that. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
and I feel like it's so weird that like that was like those memories, of me being in that Light Ace, the Toyota Light Ace van, which those are my earliest memories of living in the Philippines. Like all those memories, like I now I'm close to 40 and I could still like use that and put it in my art. It's like it's pretty cool. Like that, I could channel that. Yeah, that
That's
you could
like,
channel your past.
well, that's who you are, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That's part of who you are is like acknowledging like where you come from, what you've been through. Yeah, it's great. Like that's I've been enjoying listening to your NTS shows because like you've been playing like, okay, first of all let me just say you have like the most like wild music range, like choice of music range. You go from like Filipino like disco to
Right.
like post punk, like
Right.
to
Yeah.
like beats and like you know synth, like 80s synth pop. Like it's like a wild ride, but it's so fun and like it's kind of, I think it resonated with me a lot because okay, like I've my life I've been like, in and out of like Thailand and like, Western countries like Australia and like it's that jumping, it's like that retracing of like trying to figure out who you are, like based on like, yeah, these childhood memories of like sounds and ads and things that you
Exactly.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And then you're also trying to figure out where does that fit in with who I am now living, as an adult, like making stuff.
Right. Yeah. It's just so weird. It's like I'm going back to that and like
But
And
you
it's
need
weird
to.
that, yeah, I guess like I'm
Yeah.
just doing but I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just like doing it. It's just doing what's natural. Like it's just coming out of me, but not
It's
thinking about it, you know. But
like,
that's funny that yeah, like the ads and the commercials, that's totally
yeah,
what I'm
man.
doing.
I'm like using some like in my new collections. I'm using some like rice sacks, like Thai rice sacks, and
Oh,
I made them into like fabric prints and stuff like that, and made clothes out of them. So like, yeah,
dude,
like
that's so dope.
it's like it's like you can't deny who you are and where you come from, and actually
Exactly.
like looking more, peeling back the layers like it's an onion, and like looking deeper into like why you think that way, why you like this thing, why you do this, why you say these things. It's like it comes from like somewhere deep, you know,
Yep,
deep inside. Yeah, yeah. So
it is.
what
It's
a
probably
treat.
our DNA or maybe our ancestors or something. It's just a mixture of that.
Yeah, yeah. Or just even like things like your parents say to you when you're a kid that you just
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember. Yeah,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Even like some of my lyrics, like in Tagalog, like looking back, like it is stuff that like I would hear my parents say, like, and it's weird, like it just sticks to me.
Like
Yeah.
like a question, is your Tagalog like fluent? Like do you feel do you think in Tagalog? Do you think in English? Like what's the deal with that?
No, I mean Tagalog. I don't speak it the best. It's more like Taglish, like Tagalog mixed with English. But it's not the best. But I can understand it pretty good. Yeah.
That's probably why that you say phrases like that your parents would say, because that's what like you hear, because that's like me
Yeah,
with
that's what I
Thai.
always hear. Oh,
Yeah,
you too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like people say like I say things. I speak Thai like my mom, because that's where I hear Thai the most. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about like um your creative process. Like how are you? Okay, let's say yeah you haven't made. Do you? Okay, let's reframe this. Are you making beats all the time, or are
Mm,
you? Is it like, does it come in waves? Like what's going on?
exactly.
Comes in
I don't
waves.
make music all the time. It comes in waves. Like, because I don't want to force it. Because I feel like if I just keep at it and forcing it, like it's gonna be whack. So I just kind of like go with the flow, and then something will trigger me, and like it's almost like someone's telling me like, "Oh, go to your equipment," because that's really like the first step, right?
I
Like
like
your
that.
equipment, and then the wave comes, and like when the wave comes, like I make a lot of music like in a short period of time. Like I work fast, like it all comes out like it. I'll be done in like 2 weeks or a month's time, and then from there, like I'll probably make like 30 songs, and then narrow it down to like 40 minutes worth of music.
And like,
Like
are you making like, are you recording and make like sampling, recording and sampling and making everything yourself?
yeah, so like Light Ace, I don't have a studio, so I would just record in the kitchen while my kids just like watching TV. Not all day, but are playing, and I'll just be on like sample mode. I sample a lot of old music, so that would be the first step. And the second step would just to like add stuff, make beats, and then comes the adding the lyrics and the vocals, and that's when I can like kind of zone out and tap in, tap in, tap out, and really vibe, come up with melodies and stuff.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes I hear like there's some instruments like thrown in there. Is that like, are they actually samples? What I'm hearing, like, I can't remember. Like maybe some guitar sounds or some synth sounds
Yeah,
layered on
I'll
top.
add like, yeah, so just samples, and then yeah, I'll add drums. That's my hip hop background, so sampling drums, and then I'll have like weird like synth sounds or weird sample sounds, and kind of just layer it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, do the lyrics come like later once you made all the sounds? Like then you'll think about the words afterwards.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So then I'll come up with a beat, and usually I make the beats really fast. So I'll do that, and then that's when hook up the mic, and then just start freestyling and singing,
Sick.
and then I'll wait till like I catch something, and then what do you call it?
How do you
Just
remember it? It's recording?
yeah, it's recording. I write it down on my phone. Well, I used to write it on like paper or whatever, or like pay stubs, whatever paper I could layering around. But now I have my phone, so I just write it on my phone like immediately. If sometimes I just record it, the vocals on like on my phone, so I don't forget it. Like if I can't really finish the song,
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah. But usually I just record it, like immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, it sounds really dope, man. I want to, like, you keep mentioning hip hop, and I know that, like, as a beat maker, and, like, I see you're into, like, basketball and hip hop.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
can you tell me about, like, when and where that started? And then
mm.
how, like, what you were listening to, and, like, how that passion for hip hop evolved?
Like as far as basketball and music, or just
Yeah, like how old were you when you started? Like when you were like, oh shit, hip hop's really cool. Like I'm
yeah.
listening to
Well, in the
that.
'90s, I had my best friend. He was my neighbor in the Philippines, and we used to play basketball like every day. Like, and he just moved to the Philippines from Los Angeles, and he put me on like at age 14. He put me on to like all the hip hop. Like, he had Mobb Deep, Wu Tang, just all the Busta Rhymes, like all the '90s hip hop, and he put me onto that. So that ever since then, it's just I've been a hip hop head. But yeah, I like all genres of music though. All
Yeah,
genres. Like, I
yeah.
first started making like hip hop beats, but then because I listen to I grew up listening to The Cure as well, and like the Smiths,
Your
and
records really reflect that for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. And so yeah, I guess it just kind of naturally happened. Like, it just started like doing more like kind of that UK sound, the new wave
Mm-hmm.
punk style sounds. So I kind of like try to blend both worlds, you know. So I think my
I
music is just
love
a blend of a lot of things. Yeah.
I love when that happens. So like when it's like, okay, as a musician, as an artist, as a fashion designer, we're not inventing the wheel.
Right.
We're
Exactly.
we're remixing things over and over and
Exactly.
over
I'm
again.
taking
But
this and that and just put it blending it.
totally. And
Right.
sometimes like you cross pollinate something that people go, whoa, like I've never seen or heard or felt that before. And that's when you hit that, like that sweet spot. And
Yeah,
like,
the sweet spot.
yeah, that sweet spot. For me, like, okay, if you talk about, I'm probably a little younger than you. I'm turning 32 this year. So for me, my favorite, like era for hip hop was probably like late 90s, early 2000s, like Dungeon
Right.
Family. So like
Yeah, Dungeon Family.
if you listen to like Outcast, what's that Outcast song, like super Udi supercalifragilistic,
Yeah.
whatever it's called,
Uh huh.
that really hard to pronounce song.
Yeah.
That's like the first time I ever heard someone like rapping over reggae and dub. Like,
Right.
who
Yeah.
does that? And like that was like, that's what makes me like play that song over and over and over again. Like, it's so
Right.
good. It's like, it's that weirdness, And
Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely what I heard in your music when I started like listening to it. I was like, who's this guy? Like, just like, what's going on here? Like, it's so fresh. And I think like that idea of like getting to know exactly who you are, because like there isn't a copy of you in this universe. We are all extremely unique beings. We come from very different places. We like different things. And like that combination of why we like things and what we like, is so
Right.
unique. Like no one can copy that. and no one can like predict what you're going to do next, and it's because of who you are. So like, yeah, that's why I'm so curious about like yeah, your past and like why you like things. Like, tell me about why you like, okay, let's talk about hip hop. Like, do you have like a favorite kind of collective in hip hop, or like a period of time in like that in hip hop that you really enjoy?
Yeah, I like all of it. I love the '80s and '90s and early 2000s, like you said. But I feel like every decade had their own genre. But I love Wu-Tang. I love Ghostface. I love MF Doom, R.I.P. I love Dipset. I love Outkast, like you said. Even the early '80s stuff. I like Cold Crush Brothers and Run DMC, Public Enemy. Yeah, I love all of it, really.
Yeah.
The style too, the style.
Yeah, the style that like let's talk about style, because that has everything to do, like, that's so hip hop too. It's like, I mean, that's so to do with music, is like how you present yourself. Like, what's your vibe right now? What style are you going for right now? Like,
Just like old man style mixed with like a little bit of like 80s, 90s hip hop, but with like, a little sprinkle of outdoor,
a sprinkle of like rock climbing.
Yeah.
That's a good vibe, man.
Yeah,
so you got the Helly Hansen on.
Yeah, Helly Hansen. Found it on eBay.
Nice.
I like eBay and like thrift stores and stuff.
Yeah. So like, you're a dad now, so like, do you have time for like digging?
Yeah, I try to like, I bring them with me. So like, if we're driving, like I see a thrift store, even though they don't like it, but
make him like it.
Gotta go. Let's go.
That's true, old man style. Taking the kids with you.
It's like real quick, 5 minutes. But yeah, I take them with me, and they're used to it. Yeah, I love digging.
So like, what's on the cards, like, for you coming up? Like, I don't like this question, obviously, like, because it makes people feel pressure about like proving themselves to the world, but like, maybe you got something exciting going on right now, like, or not exciting to do with your work, but what the hell in the universe right now makes you happy and excited?
Right. Well, definitely. When you talked about the wave coming, like the wave really came, and I've been making a lot of music, like a lot. Like
nice.
I've been collaborating with other artists, like ever since the Light Ace came out. Like it's opened some doors. So now I'm just collaborating with people, and I got another album coming out. Hopefully,
sick.
This year. Yeah, this year I just finished it.
Whoa.
And then some other projects.
What's that? What does it feel like? Are you allowed to say that?
This one.
If you made a feeling.
It's kind of continuing where I left off, but it has its own vibe. It seems a little more. I don't know. Maybe just wait and see. I'll let you guys. But yeah, it continues where I left off. But I guess a little more Filipino.
Nice.
So,
because like, what were you like? LA's like right now. LA's like real bad with the COVID right now. Like, and honestly, like, I've had it so good being here in Thailand compared to like the US and Europe. What was like 2020 for you, honestly?
Oh man, 2020. Yeah, it's been it seems like it was 2020 vision. You know what I mean? Like, like it kind of opened your eyes. As far as like maybe relationships with other people, like maybe shit's kind of real right now. So maybe we should focus more on like what matters the most, and like what family and friends. Don't take it for granted, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So just that, and but also I'm not letting it like derail my what do you call it? Not let it derail my dreams. You know, like I'm just gonna keep pushing even more.
That's like such a great attitude because like many industries, like the music industry was so hard hit from this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like people can't tour, people can't do shows, like which is the main bread and butter these days because it's so, like with the internet and the way that the industry's shifted, a lot of people's bread and butter was touring and making money from shows. So just to have that just be gone suddenly,
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Yeah, I'd definitely be touring right now, but because of this COVID thing, can't. But my mentality is, I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm just gonna keep. Like I said, the wave came. I don't know if that triggered it, but I'm just gonna keep making more music. So.
Hell yeah. I think 2021 is gonna have like some dope music from everyone because for people who tour too much, they've actually had the time to like just be at home and make music and be in the studio and like be creative. People have been going through some really hard stuff. People have been going it's been like a period of reflection for a lot of people. So like I'm sure creativity, if anyone's listening and if you want to bet money on it, like creativity is on the rise in 2021 for sure. Hardship,
I can't wait.
Hell yeah. If there's anything I've learned about, there's not much I've learned about life, but if there's anything I've learned is like resilience needs to be a resilient person, you need you need heavy weight on your shoulders. And you need to people I find that when I meet people who've like really bared heavy weight on their shoulders in life, they are like the richest human beings that I've come across. So I feel like there's going to be some dope stuff coming out in 2021. I'm looking forward to yours as well. For sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to hear it, and
I always ask this question to everybody on the show is like, what do you think the function of art is? In your case, it'll probably be music. Is it what is the function of that in life? Why do we need music?
Oh man, because for me, not just for myself making music, but music is healing, and music is it should, like I said, you should be, when you make it, you should be honest. So it should be your therapy. It should be therapeutic. So that's what it is to me, and I do it because I love to do it, and I feel like I have to do it, and it's me, and I've made the commitment, and just gotta go strong. I keep doing it, keep pushing.
Beautiful, man. Well, that's what a way to start off your Friday morning and and end this awesome podcast with you today. For folks listening, please check out Light Ace Frequency. It's out on Stone's Throw Records. You have quite a bunch of records out on Stone's Throw.
I have 3 albums, and some EPs. So you check it out. Yeah.
Please check it out, friends, and also check out your NTS radio show as well, which is super fun to listen to.
Manila Times actually have an episode tomorrow. So DJ Joel Keyzone is going to be spinning. So he's going to be spinning some of that Filipino OPM.
Nice one.
Rock stuff, funk stuff. So
if anyone wants to follow you on social media, what's the best way to do that?
Just the Instagram. That's the only one I really use. Sometimes I use Twitter, but yeah, Bex Ruffin 8888. Yeah.
Lucky number.
On Instagram.
All right, Ryan. Thanks so much for being on the Ponytail Show. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Honor to be here. Appreciate it. Much
Appreciate
love.
you, man. Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay, bye.